learning how to act in this very unusual environment. You were telling some stories of like weird green screen reality.
I think the first one, I can't really remember, but I think the first one we shot on film, because the first one was I know that we shot the second one in 2003, so the first one was probably, no, the second one we shot in, what am I talking about? The second one we shot in 2000, and this one we shot in 2003. So the first one was in the late 90s, and we think we still shot that one on film. And then the second one, because I seem to remember in Australia, they had the first sort of generation of digital camera, but they were massive, big things, and they had umbilical cords coming out of them, and they went over into this big tent full of hard drives, and it hummed like it had a noise on it, which meant we had to re-record almost every line of dialogue after the film was made, because there was this noise all the time. They were really primitive digital cameras, but they were the first ones. And George has always been a pioneer of that and pushing technology, as you all know. So we were using cutting edge technology at the time, but you would laugh at them nowadays. You know, they were so big and cumbersome. It took about half an hour to change a lens, and so we just kept them on zoom lenses, and we had two cameras on zoom lenses, and we would just move the crane and zoom in or out because it was the quickest way to get the next shot, you know. And then he always had a running. It's like Spielberg was always on the end of the phone, or a presence, and they like, because when we were shooting I'm sorry, my memory's so rusty about these films, but when we were shooting one of them, Spielberg was shooting Saving Private Ryan, I think, and it was at the same time, and like almost on a daily basis, they'd be on the phone like, how many setups did you get? You know, and if George got more setups than Spielberg, he'd be like, yes. You know. It was like a race or something. It was a competition. But it was good, and it was great to be involved in these films, and it opened my work up to a whole nother generation, because kids had never seen my films for good reason. What's he doing, Daddy? So this was now, you know, I had a whole new audience of kids. I ruined so many relationships with my friends' kids, because I'd walk in and they'd hide behind the settee. You know, they wouldn't speak to me anymore because I was Obi-Wan, and it freaked them out.
Now, Ewan, you were telling us a particularly fun story about wielding a lightsaber whilst on a turntable.
Oh yeah.
Could you tell that story?
Yeah. I don't want to give away.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to give away the end of this one, because I'm sure none of you have seen it. There's a bit at the end on a sort of hot river, and Hayden and I were shooting. We were doing pickups. We shot the film in Australia, and we were doing some pickups in London. And I don't know why we did them there, but we did. And we were in this green set, and they built us two big discs, big discs, but they were slightly off the floor, and they turned around, you know. And so I was standing on one, and Hayden was standing on one just over here. And then lying at our feet, if you like, were two props guys who were just turning them around. Yes. So I was sort of... You got a lightsaber?
Oh, yeah.
I was sort of...
Yeah!
I was sort of like this, and Hayden was there like that, and I'd turn around. He'd have a go at me. Yeah, like that. It was like this. And somebody had said, Robert De Niro's coming in to visit today, earlier. And I thought, no, why would Robert De Niro be coming in? So I'm turning around at this, and Hayden looks to me and he goes, Robert De Niro's coming in. No, he says, I hear Robert De Niro's coming in. And I went, nah. And as I turned around, I saw he was sitting over there. I was like, it's not how you want to meet Robert De Niro, being turned around like this, like a big ninny. Anyway, that's how I met Rob De Niro on set.
Yeah!